الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. With the permission of Sheikh has asked us to continue with the Jumah. He's not available at the moment. And I didn't want to give a nasiha, but Sheikh insisted that I should give a nasiha, so we'll just give some words of advice from the Quran, inshallah, obviously starting with myself and then to everyone else. So for today, inshallah, we will be reading through Surah Al-Asr, just giving a tafsir and taking some benefits from the Surah Al-Asr. Surah Al-Asr is the third shortest surah in the Quran. I think it has about 2 lines, if I'm not mistaken. But this short surah, as Imam Shafi says, that if the whole of mankind were to follow this short surah, it will be sufficient and enough for them till the end of time. So we'll try and translate this as best as possible. So Allah says in the Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, wal asr. Before I continue, I just want to mention also that this surah is one of those surahs that every time you read it over and over, you can get new meanings and translations, from it. And this is one of the miracles of Quran that Sheikh last time was mentioning, that one of the miracles of Quran is that the Quran is forever going to be relatable from the time it was revealed till the end of time for that specific time. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, wal asr. Allah starts by saying wal asri, and Allah swears by time. And Allah never swears or starts a chapter in the Quran and swears by it unless there is a significant meaning behind it, right? So what is this significant meaning behind it? Obviously, in this case, Allah continues to say, Inna al-insana lafi khusr. Verily, man is at a loss. So already by this meaning, we can tell that if time is not used wisely, then already you are in a loss, right? But there is another meaning to this, right? I know Sheikh Ibrahim Yas mentioned that time is like a sword. If you don't use it to cut, it will cut you, right? And this does not only apply to your daily stuff that you do, but it also applies in multiple sectors of life. Allah continues to say, Illa alladhina amanu. So Allah says, Wal asri, inna al-insana lafi khusr. I swear by time, verily man is in loss. Illa alladhina amanu, except those who believe, right? Except those who believe. Now, when Allah says except those who believe, people who believe, there are certain qualities that they must have, right? We know that within Islam. So what are these qualities that Allah is talking about? Allah carries on and explains, وَعَمِلُ الصَّالِحَاتِ, their advice, they do good deeds, right? وَعَمِلُ الصَّالِحَاتِ, they do good deeds. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ, and they advise one another with truth, right? And then وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ, and they advise one another with patience, right? Now, from this ayah, I remember Sheikh Bai was explaining that this ayah is very broad, right? There's a lot of meanings behind it, but one can take a meaning from this ayah in a sense where you cannot advise one another if you do not have patience or you are not honest to each other. And you can only be honest to each other if you love or care about that person, right? Which relates to this ayah where Allah says in the Quran, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ فأصلحوا بين أخويكم واتقوا الله لعلكم ترحمون. The believers are nothing but like brotherhood, right, or sisterhood, and you make peace between your brothers or your sisters, and be mindful of Allah so that Allah can show you mercy, right? So meaning only the mercy of Allah can come when you're showing, loving your brother or your sister, right? Allah also says, give what you love for yourself, also give it to someone else, right? Allah also continues to say after this ayah, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لَا يَسْخَرْ قَوْمٌ مِّنْ قَوْمٍ عَسَىٰ أَن يَكُونُوا خَيْرًا مِّنْهُنَّ وَلَا نِسَاءٌ مِّن نِّسَاءٍ عَسَىٰ أَن يَكُنَّ خَيْرًا مِّنْهُنَّ وَلَا تَلْمِزُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَلَا تَنَابَزُوا بِالْأَلْقَابِ بِئْسَ الِاسْمُ الْفُسُوقُ بَعْدَ الْإِيمَانِ مَن لَّمْ يَتُبْ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. That do not let a group of you mock each other, especially for men. And Allah continues to say also that the same person you might be talking about or mocking, right, may be better than you. So you never know. So in other words, always deal with people according to with fair and just. Allah also continues to say also for the women. So this advice is not only for the men, but also directly, specifically to the women. Now, if Allah mentions something specifically for men and women, then you know, Ruti, it is a direct command. In fact, it is not a thing where you can do it, you must do it, right? The Prophet ﷺ narrated by Sahih al-Bukhari that a Muslim is a brother to another Muslim. Also for the sisters, this applies as well. He or she should not oppress him, nor should he hand him over to an oppressor, right? And whoever fulfills the needs of his brother, Allah will fulfill his needs, right? And if you take out a brother or a sister out of comfort, Allah will also take you out of comfort in the day of resurrection. So I compiled these ayahs because I saw a relation to them, because it is almost impossible to advise one another with truth or with patience if you do not love your brother or your sister. In fact, it's impossible, right? Not almost, it's impossible. So the first stage to this ayah is to show is to love one another and care one another, not for any other reason except for the purpose of Allah, right? We do not love one another to benefit from each other, we're only doing it for the sake of Allah. Like that, automatically it will become easier to advise one another with وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ, with truthfulness and with patience. We ask Allah to allow us to advise one another with truthfulness and with patience, to deal with each other with patience and with truthfulness. And we also ask Allah's mercy to always shower upon us. And we also ask Allah to forgive us for our deeds, as none of us are perfect.